Ever thought about how a tiny 5-letter word could totally flip how you see language? Well, today, we're not going to get bogged down in some complex theory. Instead, we're going to put one super common word right under the microscope, and you'll be amazed at what it reveals. Let's get right into it.
So here's the central question, really. How can a word that we all think is so incredibly simple actually hold multiple, sometimes shockingly different meanings? To really get our heads around this, we need a case study. We need an example.
And here it is. Our word for today is stiff. Seems pretty basic, doesn't it? It's one of those words you probably use all the time without even thinking about it, but as we're about to see, there's a whole lot more packed into these 5 letters than you'd ever guess.
Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to break down how this one little word actually has 3 completely different identities, 3 different jobs it does in the English language.
All right, first up, the one we all know. Its job is an adjective. When something is stiff, it's just not able to be bent. Think rigid, inflexible. This is the stiff that's part of our everyday vocabulary. No surprises here.
And this example? Oh, it's perfect. I mean, who hasn't felt this, right? A stiff neck from sleeping funny, a stiff back, or yeah, a stiff arm after trying to be a bowling champion. It's that physical feeling of not being able to move freely. This is stiff in its most natural habitat.
You can really see its meaning get super clear when you put it next to its friends and enemies, so to speak. Words like rigid and firm, they just double down on that core, unbending idea. And then you look at the opposites, flexible, soft, limp, and they show you exactly what stiff isn't. It's simple, it's clear, it's direct.
All right, but hold on. Let's flip the script a little. What happens when we take this word and use it in a completely different context? What if it's not describing a sore muscle or a piece of cardboard, but a person? Now, this is where things get really interesting and a little dark.
And bam, here it is, the word's second identity. Informally, as slang, stiff is a noun, and it means a corpse, a dead body. Total shocker, isn't it? One minute we're talking about a sore muscle, the next we're in the morgue. It's just a wild example of how incredibly and sometimes jarringly flexible these simple words can be.
Yeah, this sentence really hits you, doesn't it? It's blunt, it's informal, and it's using stiff in a way that feels worlds away from a sore arm. One word, 2 totally separate realities.
So what's going on here? Why this word? Why is stiff so flexible? The answer isn't just some weird quirk of language. It actually connects to this really fascinating and ambitious project called Basic English.
And this, right here, is the key to the whole puzzle. See, stiff isn't just versatile by some random accident. No, it was hand-picked. It was specifically chosen to be part of this really exclusive club, the Basic English 850-word list.
Only 850 words. Just let that sink in for a second. The English language has, over 170,000 words that we use today? But the people who created Basic English, they believed you could handle most situations, say most things you need to say, with just this tiny, tiny fraction. And our little word, stiff, it made the cut.
So you're probably asking, what is Basic English anyway? Well, it was a simplified version of English developed way back in the 1930s. The whole goal was to build this amazing tool for clear global communication. The idea was kind of revolutionary, really. What if we could break down language barriers not by making everyone learn thousands of new words, but by mastering a powerful core set that could be combined to express almost anything?
Which brings us to the really big idea here. Why are these multi-purpose words like stiff, so incredibly valuable, especially in a system like Basic English? Well, it's because they're efficient. They're kind of like the Swiss Army knives of language.
So let's just recap the different jobs stiff can do. You've got the adjective, right, to describe something rigid. Then there's the noun, a corpse. And get this, it can even be a verb, like when you stiff a waiter on a tip, which means you cheat them out of it. One single word is doing the work of 3. I mean, that is incredible efficiency.
And that really leaves us with one last massive question to chew on. The power of a word like stiff shows just how much we can say with a really small toolkit. So if 850 words can do all that heavy lifting, what are the other 170,000 words for? Is it all for precision? For art? For poetry? Or maybe something else entirely? It's a pretty cool thing to think about. Thanks for joining us.